Hello there. What's going on, everyone? Today I am taking a look at my Twilight Imperium 4 stuff. I finished painting the entire set, and I just thought we would go through and kind of take a look, kind of show off everything. You know, it's just kind of a little change of pace for me. I figured I've been working on this for a while. It took me a couple of weeks, and I already did a video painting these yellow guys, but I went ahead and did all the other colors too. And the format was pretty much the same for all of them. I just primed them all, and most of them I did white, and based them in pretty much their same color, then put like a Nuln Oil wash in, then a little dry brush over the top, and then some little bit of white highlighting. Also did one of the things you can see in here is I did the engines for all of them too, and just to give that accent, I figured like a little bit of white on each of the ships would kind of help the color stand out a little bit. And I sealed them all too, so they wouldn't end up being sticky or anything like that. Now the gray or the black I did differently. I actually primed those in black, and then I base coated them in gray, and then did the Nuln Oil. And the goal here was really just to make, because these ships have so much detail, and straight out of the box you just can't see that detail. You just can't see it. It doesn't really stand out. So by putting some wash and some dry brush, it really kind of just raised and elevated the detail. And there were some unexpected twists too. I was afraid purple wasn't going to stand out as much, so I did purple a little different. Instead of doing white, I mixed a little bit of white and purple. So I made like a very light lavender for like the highlight portion. And so like you can see, it shows up a little better on these. So it's not actually white there. I kind of regret that now. I'm thinking maybe I should have gone with white instead. But, we learn things as we go. Blue I had the most problems with. And I think it's because I did blue after doing green. And as you can see, some of my dry brush, basically when I dry brushed these, it looks better here. You can see it looks a little more greenish, and I was not happy with that, so I went back over and added some extra deck platings of blue. So that's why we've got multiple shades, but I was afraid it was going to look green and it would confuse players, and couldn't have that, so I went over with blue. But then again, when you compare it to the green, it's a very, very big difference. That green is very, very bright green. This blue isn't that bright of a blue, but it's definitely blue. So kind of like the way that the blue turned out. As a matter of fact, I could see going, like if I was doing this again, one thing I would have done differently is I would have probably put some extra deck plating of a different shade of each primary color. So I would have done like maybe a darker green on some deck plates, like a straight up Abaddon black on some deck plates over here, flash glitz yellow deck plates on some over here, maybe more of a bright red or even pink deck plates over here. Although if you do that, you run the risk of, because pink would work pretty well on these purple ones, which came out a little bit lighter in the purple department. And I didn't want there to be that much confusion, mostly because of people who are colorblind, and I wanted them to stand out a little bit. Another thing that I did that was different is like the white highlighting, if you'll notice, is different on each of the color sets. Like for example, we only have red or white on the front of these red ones, whereas on the yellow ones we've got it like on the sides and in the center. And like on the gray ones, we've got some of the white highlighting on the back. Now the problem is I was kind of just making this up as I went. And had I thought about it a little bit better, I might have coordinated a little better. Like I was thinking it would have made more sense if like maybe all of red's white markings would have been in the front. So even if somebody was totally colorblind, if they saw a markings on the front, they would know that was their faction. Compared to maybe like yellow, I could have done them all on the left side, and black I could have done them all on the right side. Green I could have done them all in the rear. And then like the other two, I could have done a combination like left and right or front and back. or something like that. And that would have been one way to kind of distinguish them beyond just color, because that I think is one thing that Twilight Imperium kind of doesn't have that much of, is it doesn't really have a whole lot of colorblind friendly options for the ships, because they are all identical with the exception of the color. So it was one thing I was trying to do, and I probably could have done that a lot better. But this was just a fun little thing, and I suppose I can always go back and add something extra to them. I don't know what, but there's always that chance where you can add a little bit more. But ultimately, I think they came out pretty good, and it was fun. It took me about 2 weeks to do all of these, and I will say I got a lot of paint on my hands, especially because there's nowhere really to grip these. So I found myself having to do something like I would hold it by the tip and then paint all the rest of it, set it down, move on to the next one. Then once I was totally done, I would go back, hold it from the rear, and then just paint the tips on that whole set. So like one whole set would take me twice as long, because I had to completely let them dry and then come back and hold the rest. And I would still end up getting paint on my hands. So funny thing is, I've done some unboxing and some videos, and a couple of my videos over the past week or two, I've noticed I still had little bits of paint on my hands that didn't want to come off. So that's pretty funny. But that happens when you paint a lot of minis. Alright guys, well, just a short video today. Just wanted to kind of showcase everything. Here it is. Here's the wider angle. And yeah, fun stuff. Where I really like this game, and I've enjoyed kind of tricking it out a little bit. All right, that's all I've got. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a great day.